MINDIA, Mind of India.
Right now we are standing at the bank of the Pattandur Agrahara Lake 54. This exists in all our maps. Even now on the government official maps it's a lake. It got encroached through fake documentation by a private party. Why is this important? I'll tell you.
Bangalore, the capital of Karnataka, the IT hub of India. As an environmentalist, I loved moving in here, one, because of the lakes, the garden city, the green, and the fantastic weather. And having come here, what appalls is the roads, the lakes, the gardens, all are depleting. They are all coming down. Let us today talk to one of my community leaders here, Sandeep. And Sandeep, good morning. I really am happy to be speaking to you today right here in Whitefield. How did the Bangalore ecosystem, especially of the lakes, come to be?
First, we need to understand how Bangalore's lakes came into being. If you study the topography of Bengaluru, it is an elevated plateau. So basically, though Bangalore receives a lot of rains, it used to flow away because of the higher elevation into the neighboring districts. So basically, Tamil Nadu, Mysore, all of these districts used to benefit from Bangaluru's rains because it never used to stay in Bengaluru. As a result, it was actually a dry plateau. But about 1,000 years back, maybe a little earlier than that, people here figured out a way to actually stop the rainwater and hold it. And that phenomenon is called our lakes. Of the 1,500 to 2,000 lakes that Bangalore had, now it's become 200. What happened to the remaining lakes? It's nothing but encroachment and destruction for the sake of development. So there was a myopia in the early, say from the 50s to the 90s. There was this lack of environmental awareness, lack of sensitivity. So they didn't understand the necessity of lakes to the Bangalore's ecosystem, that it makes it livable, that it provides valuable water resource, it provides a habitat for flora and fauna, it actually makes the city habitable and livable.
Correct.
Today look at the temperatures, they're soaring.
Yeah.
And if we don't protect and revive and return nature back to Bengaluru, then we will not be able to live in Bengaluru.
Right.
See, all these lakes were built by local people. They were preserved by local people. They used to be maintained by local people, communities. But today, nobody cares about it. That is the tragedy.
See, not only the biodiversity that we are losing day by day, but there is a certain, all indigenous communities around the world have a local wisdom.
Yeah.
And there is a reverence for animals, there is a reverence for trees, there's a reverence for lakes. It's always been related to an ideology of reverence, right? Is there something we can work on?
Actually, see, if you really look at it, nature was our first god. People used to revere nature and used to worship nature.
Right.
Basically, forests were considered sacred, water bodies were considered sacred. But today, even if we consider them sacred, it is very superficial. We don't really try to protect it. Earlier, we used to protect it with our lives. We used to consider them so sacred, we used to think they're God. So yes, you're right.
There used to be one inscription, right?
In the Pattandur Agrahara Lake, we actually found a 1,000-year-old inscription stone. It was built by King Raja Chola on his 36th birthday. And the inscription stone is so beautiful. It describes the purpose for which it was built, how much money was given, who will manage it. It's beautiful history. It's actually real history. We found it thrown in a graveyard. The stone says, if anybody damages or harms the lake, they will inherit the sins of everyone from Ganga till Kanyakumari.
Oh dear.
And they will marry their own mother. It's like a curse. And if somebody protects the lake and looks after it, they will be blessed. So it's an amazing inscription stone.
So 2,000 lakes became 200. Is there hope? Can we go from 200 to at least 500, 1,000, 2,000?
See, the answer is very simple really. All the lakes that existed are present in our old land records. So if you want to revive a lake, all you have to go back is find the land records, and you need to get use the law perhaps to get the land revived. Technically speaking, you need to mark the boundaries of the lake, mark the buffer zones of the lake, and fence it so that you can secure it, make it protected. Third, we need to ensure that polluted water doesn't enter the lake. The sewage system needs to be fixed, effluent should not reach the lake. Fourth, we need to rebuild, as Kempegaura's mother said, build lakes, plant trees. Now the trees are the buffer zones. Basically the buffer zones also protect and prevent pollution from coming into the lake. So we have to clear the buffer zones of the lake, buffer zones of the Rajakaluways, because the Rajakaluways bring the water into the lake.
Sure.
That is the stormwater drains, and their buffer zones also under law we need to protect. So if these all happen, all our lakes will come back to life. Bengaluru will again become a city of lakes, and we will have local water security.
So there
we won't
is,
have to depend on water from
there
anywhere.
is hope. Okay, there is hope, and the solution is in our hands. The ancient wisdom is present. The grandmother's wisdom needs to be ignited and invoked. Let's do it. Bangalore, let's do it.